Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm doing this video in response to some great comments I got in one of the Facebook Polymer 80 groups, and it was in regards to a modification that I did on the firing pin for my Polymer 80 G43. So the modification that I did was, well, the problem that I had, first of all, was that as the case was coming up, right, the cartridge was coming up, the bottom of the rim was striking the bottom of the firing pin. Okay, so on the G43 firing pin, there is a slight angle over here near the front, but I was catching a little further back. So what I did is I just brought this angle a little further back, so that as the rim comes up, it would push the firing pin back. Now the comment that I was getting from some people is that it shouldn't depend on that. The cruciform or the sear should be pulling the lug back and extracting the firing pin at the firing pin hole. Issue with that is at the point. Yeah, put this in there. Okay. At the point that the case comes up and it crosses that firing pin hole, okay, the slide has not gone forward far enough for the sear to pull back that firing pin lug. So I'm moving this forward slowly and a little bit more. Here you go, right there. So right now I'm at the point where that case, right, is crossing. It's right at the beginning of the firing pin hole. We turn this upside down. And at that point, you can see your firing pin lug back here. Right, there's your firing pin lug. Turn the gun back around. Okay, once again, there's the point. Oh, we're too far. There's the point where it's crossing, where it's about to cross the firing pin hole. Try to get the light right here. All right, there's your firing pin hole. And right there is your sear. I'm sorry, not your sear, is your lug. So that hasn't gone far enough. I can actually, let me get so again, here you go, I got it in good position now. So there's your firing pin hole right there. Right, that's right at the beginning, right there is your firing pin hole. Okay, and without moving my hand, there's your firing pin lug, and you can see it if I pull on it, this moves a little bit because it doesn't have the pressure of the sear on it yet. It hasn't fully engaged. Okay, so that's not what's gonna, at this point where it's crossing the firing pin hole, that's not what's gonna pull that firing pin back. Now what I did, I pulled out my Glock OEM. So here I have a Glock 22. Pull that. All right, here we go. So I just pulled the firing pin. I just pulled the trigger rather. And there it is. You can see your firing pin hanging forward. Okay. So at this point, it's been pulled back, because at this point the sear goes all the way back. But when you press it, right, okay, it's forward, and it has to get forward a little bit more. Let's see if we can get that right there. It just got pulled in now, so it has to get this far for it to get pulled back, because I actually saw it get pulled back, and this is something you guys can test on your own. All right, so it's got to go in about that deep in order for it to engage, and for that firing pin to get pulled back. Same deal here, Glock 17. OEM, haven't changed anything on this. Here we go. You can see firing pins hanging forward. All right, so I'm going to pull it back slowly, and you'll see. Actually bring it forward slowly, As I bring it forward slowly, you'll see it get pulled back right before it's about, there you go, it just got pulled back. You can see how much space I got there. All right, so that lug is a lot deeper than at the point where that, you know, where the back of the case is coming up and it's passing, you know, it reaches that firing pin hole. So again, I didn't sharpen the firing pin, right? I didn't change the face of the fire. By the way, this is an unmodified firing pin for the G43. The modified one is in the Glock, is in the gun working. This is the one I showed in the video that was jamming up the gun as it was coming up and hitting right underneath here. So you don't change the front, you just cut the bottom a little bit just to bring it at a, you know, because there's already an angle there. You just gotta give it a little bit more of an angle so that as the case comes up, it pushes the firing pin back and out of the way. So I look forward to getting, hearing some more comments. And like I said, I'm not an expert. I mean, I built my first Polymer 80, I think, last summer. So I'm only been building Polymer 80s for about a year. So I don't think anybody's an expert in this. I think it's a learning process. Now, a lot of times, the question sometimes might be, is this firing pin factory Glock? Is it Glock OEM? I don't know. From what I hear, it's really hard to get Glock OEM parts. So even when you see stuff being listed online as Glock OEM, is it really Glock OEM? I don't know. I mean, I think unless you're getting it straight from Glock, right? That's the only way you could be sure that it's a Glock OEM. So basically, most of us, we got to work with whatever we get. So this is a fairly minor fix. That gun works. Anyway, by all means, post some comments. Love to hear from you guys. If you're not a member of my channel, subscribe. Talk to you guys soon.